when I met her, she was an anti-pedal person.
Take it by the scenes, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about. 561 Music!
Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm Hector.
And we have survived.
We have.
Yeah.
Barely.
We put on a little festival last weekend, just a little shindig over at the Meyer Amphitheater in West Palm Beach. If you went, then thank you so much.
Yeah.
And if you didn't go, what's wrong with you? You should have gone. Anyway, Hector, why don't you have a little bit of a chat about your role in it and how much it stressed you out?
I mean, I didn't really do much. I just set the whole thing up, put it on, and then took the whole thing back down again. But besides that, I didn't really do much. No, it was nothing short of amazing. It was fun. All the bands were professional. Everything ran on time, which is unbelievable for a festival of that magnitude. We had thousands of people there at one point. It was just a good time, man. It was just a really good time.
It was a really good time. And I want to say you did a grand job.
Thank you, sir.
I love you, buddy. You slayed it.
Yeah.
And, we were all involved, but there's no getting around the fact that, it's your baby and you absolutely slayed it. So thank you.
I appreciate that, man. It was fun. It was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I mean, it was stressful, but it was fun.
Yeah, man. And all the bands played really, really awesomely. And I got a lot of footage and interviews from most of the bands. I didn't manage to interview all of them, but we got loads of footage, loads of photos. We're going to put them together for a special episode. So keep an eye out for that because it's coming very soon. And we have Joelle and Marissa from Monarch Hill with us. How's it going, guys?
Fantastic.
Very nice to be here.
Yeah,
so happy. Keep forgetting that it's Wednesday, not Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So have you seen the podcast before?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, it's nice to have people on who've actually seen it from
I've never seen
that perspective.
I've seen a few of them.
I could tell you how I found you guys.
Oh,
It
yes,
had to do with the band that we were in prior.
Yeah.
And we had not chosen a drummer. Like we told him, no, sorry, it's not going to work out. We passed on him. So I ended up doing some digging on the band Closer to the Ocean.
Oh, yeah.
And ended up coming up as a random search buried on Google.
Oh, right. Cool.
And the 561 podcast came up. I'm like, oh, there's Laura.
Yeah.
And there's CJ.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit here and watch this because I've never heard of this thing before. So I started watching you guys, binge watching from like 3 years ago.
Oh,
and
that's
catching
really
up on the
cool.
episodes. Yeah.
Oh, that makes
That's
me
pretty
really
awesome.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Closer to the Ocean. Interestingly enough,
Yeah.
I interviewed Closer to the Ocean on Saturday because they just showed up there, even though they weren't playing.
Oh, that's fun.
So there's a
That's
Closer to the
good.
Ocean.
They
interview.
played last year, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, they
did,
did. Yeah, I remember.
And
yeah.
they were in a lot of our advertising too, because we had some great footage of them.
Nice.
Yeah,
Closer to the Ocean. I don't know that band.
they're cool.
They're cool, though. Laura used to work at Guitar Center. I used to buy stuff,
She's from
strings
Florida.
and
So
stuff from her.
She's like from here. I've only been here. I'm a newbie, so I don't have any like background. I wouldn't know the people that work at Guitar Center.
Sure.
I got-
And
Gotcha.
How long
I'm
have you been here?
I'm a West Coast. I've been here at 2.5 years.
Okay.
Oh, that's not
And-
too bad.
And I'm from San Francisco, California, originally.
If it's less than a year, we would have to ask you to leave this local music. I'm kidding.
Sorry, Marissa.
Okay. But so I don't know like a lot of the scene. Like I'm kind of like, so she knows everything. I'm like, I don't know anything.
Hey, I'm learning.
Well, you've come to the right
That's
place.
why she's like doing all the bookings. So she knows
Yeah.
everyone, and she's like
Yeah.
hooked up.
Well, this is perfect because you're in the right place. If you want to know anything about the local music scene, just watch the episodes of this podcast, and it
Yeah.
is literally every band around here.
Yeah,
So-
that's awesome. This is great that you guys do this because it's important, I think, to have like, I think like Miami's got such an electronic music scene, but there's not really like a live band like community as much as there is up north.
Yeah, we've been trying to create it, and
know why
and
that
it's
is.
working. It's working.
That's
you know,
cool.
it's that there is a live music community. It is just previously it was a little harder to find. I would say now that we're just trying to shine a light on it, and it's been working.
Yeah.
And evidence of that is that now there is a all local music festival in the middle of West Palm Beach every year. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
that you just put on
Yeah, exactly.
Saturday.
Yeah.
It was
We're a
like-
little too new, so I applied just for like, I'm gonna Hail Mary it. Why not? You know,
We didn't,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
just
didn't
for the
have enough
heck of
stuff
it. But we
together
were like
at that point.
still kind of like a duo at that time.
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
You know, apply next year. This is going to have to be a busy year for you guys. You got to get it going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
See if you
Full
can
band
build up
now,
some-
or
Yeah, full band. We started we were in a prior project that was kind of like went on a little bit of a hiatus, and during that hiatus, like
Well, we recorded an EP.
We recorded
and
an
then
EP
the shit
and-
hit the fan, and like a lot of bands tend to happen.
Yeah.
Personalities diverge, and
Yeah.
therapy sessions are more frequent than music sessions.
Yeah.
And I feel like it just kind of fizzled, and
Yeah.
then but Joelle started this thing, and I'm like, I don't care about what music. I'm like, I just want to do music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care if we're just you and I going and playing at for coffee shop
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Like, I just want to be doing it and writing music. And so, and she and I write so well together. Like, we have
Nice.
this, we share our brain. Like, she comes in with like a song she writes on the guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, holy shit. Oops, sorry. I'm not
You
allowed
can
to
swear on
say whatever you want. Say
and I'm
whatever
like,
you want.
oh, I have a song that I wrote. The melody goes exactly with that song. And we write, how many songs? We have so many songs like that where it's just like.
it's what is it? The Terrence and Phillips
it's
method.
Terrence and Phillips method. I call it Terrence and Phillips. It's like you just pull it out of your ass. Like but I pull
Yeah.
a song, and it's
I
like,
love it.
Yeah.
and it's like we write. It's like it's like you knew the melody that I had written, and it just goes. And so
Yeah.
That's great. When you find someone like that in your life, it's so
you hold on to
wonderful.
them,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're
it's-
nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's perfect, and it's such a wonderful bond you can have with someone. Is just that ability to create music naturally, and you know, a few people in my life like that. One of them sitting over here,
Yeah.
and you know, and it's just great. It's one of the best things ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, when did the band start? When was like the kickoff?
All right, I'm going to tell you right now. How the band started was at exactly September 20th at Prosperity at the DDRB homecoming gig.
What that we were at?
Yes.
That's when the band started.
Yes,
That is-
that's when the idea started. My husband was with me at that gig. It was called our little day date that we had,
Right.
and Working Class Underground played. Ellie Saunter,
Yeah,
you were band number 3,
yeah.
so it was Killbillies minus your
Minus
banjo
James.
player.
Minus
yeah.
James, yeah.
I don't even think you could fit him on the stage, to
We-
be
we
honest. He
couldn't
would, he
have.
would have been like,
We
you
could
know,
have. We barely got the upright up there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
you got it. You got that upright snuck through the
That's
side
that's a
door back
tiny,
there by the
Oh,
stage.
Prosperity?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a scary
Yeah, I
stage.
saw Hector bring that in through the side door because there was no way that he was going to lift it over everybody's heads to get it to that tiny
If that
crack
stage
pot
is prosperity, I wouldn't
Yeah.
like to know what like sort of.
You can't
sort
have a
of
full
lack of
band
money
there.
Yeah,
is.
but I didn't. It was weird. It's like I was too distracted, and I was actually there as a music fan first, not there to network.
Yeah.
So I was like the social anxiety kicked in. I was
Sure.
too scared to talk to Dominic.
Yeah.
Even though I met Dominic before at the other gig, the June 28th gig that you guys played at Propaganda.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
But I didn't get a chance to see you guys
well,
because
you
were
get
the
out and
headliner.
about. I'm very
I
impressed.
know, I'm too. I'm like, what do you
So-
guys do all this?
I was like too scared to talk to you, and I'm like sitting there going, they're yakking it up, kikiing with everybody else in the back. I'm just gonna sit here and do my thing. But my husband was like, when the first group went on, and then after the second girl went on, and then after you guys went on, he's like, why aren't you? He says, what are you doing screwing around with the other band? You guys aren't doing shit. Why don't you you and Marissa just do your own thing?
Yeah.
Stop
Well,
sitting around and waiting.
It sounds
So-
like he's very supportive, and
Yeah.
it sounds like it's great to have someone in your life who is so encouraging.
Yeah,
that's
thank you.
great.
Yeah.
I will say one thing about the South Florida scene
Yeah.
is don't ever be afraid to approach a musician. I can tell you from experience, 99% of the time they're genuinely nice
Nice.
people, and they're gonna
That
talk
makes
to you,
sense.
and they're gonna share information.
Yeah.
Of course, like everything in the world, there are some dicks out there.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
the reality of it is, almost everybody we've met in the music scene has been very uplifting of other musicians in the music scene. So just don't ever be afraid to. Just,
I think the only reason why I felt like that is because I've been watching the podcast so much that
Right.
I'm like, oh, these guys
They're
are on
celebrities.
TV.
Oh, I know
That's
what
why,
That's
yeah.
so funny. And
It's like I'm breaking the fourth wall
Yeah,
here.
and you get that weird
That's
thing
so
where you
funny.
have like
Yeah.
a parasocial relationship
Yeah.
with the person, and you see them in the flesh, and it's just like,
The
does
worst-
not compute. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
worst-
I'm like, I don't.
That's so funny.
The worst
That's
part
kinda
of that
sad,
with the
actually.
podcast is being like in a grocery store or something and
Yeah.
having somebody come up to me and start talking to me, have this whole conversation with me, and walk away, and then I think to myself, I don't know who the hell that was.
You know what's funny? That
I love
happened
that
at
though.
the.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
good though.
You know what's funny?
But
Marissa,
do they know you?
Apparently.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
Fun fact, in to touch on your point about that, like so many people talk to you at that June 28th gig. My former bandmate and I actually went outside of Prop to talk to you. And he was asking, how do we get on the podcast? And you're like, it takes months to get on the podcast. So you got to submit.
I remember
stuff.
you guys now.
Yes.
I remember you guys. He
Yes.
said that you guys
He's
hadn't
tall,
been
Brazilian.
you guys hadn't been around for too long or
We were
something.
like, we were
And
around, but we weren't
and he
around
had-
social
name.
media.
Either he had
long.
just submitted to the podcast or
didn't.
wanted to submit to the podcast,
He
something
wanted
like that.
to,
Yeah,
yeah.
and was asking about I do remember that now.
Yeah.
I
But
do.
here was the thing, though, that kind of killed that band, though, and it's something that you don't want to do when you're trying to start bands, kids, is you need to have social media presence if you like it or not.
Yeah.
But I view it not as something as an interaction tool of I'm trying to get engagement. I view it as a living EPK.
Sure.
Because that's what
That's
it should be.
exactly right.
And he didn't want to do open mics or anything like that. Didn't want to share
I couldn't even share music with
music.
people like my friends. He got mad that I.
It was
okay,
just an absolute. It was
I
kind
don't
of
want to.
like.
I don't want to start. I don't
Oh,
want to.
no, 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 I'm just saying things that you shouldn't be doing at a band. Yeah.
Do not want that to be on the podcast because I don't want to be one of those people that
Yeah.
speaks badly because I'm still working with them. So
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, but I'm just
yeah.
saying,
But
like
he's-
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that he didn't want to share. It's like music's meant to be shared.
Yeah.
And bottom line, no, he thought everyone's gonna steal it. I'm like, no one's gonna steal it. Like, fucking, you have to release it so they can hear it and people get a following. No
Yeah.
one knows who the hell we are if you don't put things out there.
Social
Yeah.
media
It's like-
is
Yeah.
a necessary evil. We all hate it. We all have
Yeah.
to do it. And if you don't do it, and it's going to sound crazy, but
Yeah.
my opinion of music these days, the music business, not music as in general, but the music business
Yeah.
is it's like 10% good music and 90% marketing yourself.
I
And
can't stand that, though.
I
You know,
can't
it's
stand
always
it
been
either.
that way,
but
really.
it's
Yeah.
true, and it's like, and I don't mind that because I've always known that. I went to school for music. I went to Berklee School of Music in Boston.
Yeah.
And like for first year, I'm like right out of high school, very naive, and I'm like total independent girl. Like I'm an artist, I don't need a chorus. I can just have a refrain. Fuck you all, teaching me how to write songs. And they put me in the pop rock country ensemble when my first year, and I was like, screw this. I want to do jazz and blues. And like I was
Yeah.
just like, I refused. And then they're like explaining to me in business 101, first business class, everyone's required to take. And they explained to me the reason why is that a label was going to put me in a certain box,
Yeah.
and I would get marketed in that way. So this is the best ensemble for me to be in. And I was like, dawn, the lights came on, and I'm like, oh, that's scary and
Yeah.
unfortunate, but it's like it's true that there's a lot of marketability that goes hand in hand with the music.
Sure.
And so
I
that
think
part-
that, something that I think is really, really important as someone who's been doing music their entire lives is just make sure whatever you do, you really love it and you mean it. Because then no matter what happens, no matter how well you do, you'll always have what you made and you'll always be proud of it. And just so long as that is there, everything else doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like, of course you should work as hard as you can to get as big as you can and all this stuff. But if it's not coming from a place of integrity and a place of like you're creating something that you're proud of, then the rest of it then becomes work. It's
Yeah.
like promoting something that you're proud of is exciting. Promoting something that you just think might be popular is that's a schlep, that's work.
But more than that too, and I told Joelle this when we kind of branched off. I told her, I said, like, for me, it's my therapy, and I just want to have fun, and I just love it.
Yeah.
Like, beyond anything else, like, it's the love of it and having fun and the enjoyment of it. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
Everyone here knows that you're never going to make millions of dollars as a musician. Like, the way that it's become now, especially now, and then in the future with AI, it's that's just not a thing. I mean, you can make money in the industry, but you got to do other things like sync licensing, and there's a lot of other
Yeah.
apps. You can't just be like, it isn't like the olden days when you had like, you could just sell CDs and like, become a big, on a label. It's so
Yeah.
much more complicated.
That's
I told
true.
Joelle, I'm like, I don't care. It's just for the love of it. And when it wasn't becoming fun anymore in that old dynamic, I was like,
Yeah.
it's all about fun for me. And that's
Yeah.
all I want. And that's like,
You-
and that's,
That's absolutely right. And the other thing that I would say about that is that back in the day, making money, there was a lot of gatekeeping back in the day, and really getting past. I mean, that's kind of what punk was about.
You lost
but
a lot of money.
but it was very, very difficult to get to the point where you would make money.
Yeah.
And record labels used to basically spend a bunch of money on you, spend the entire time recouping. There's very few people have ever made a lot of money in the music
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
These days it's different the way it's set up, but like it's always been difficult. I think like the democratization of recording and stuff has been pretty interesting, but it's like everything, there's like always like two sides to every coin. It's like there's loads and loads of music out there. Making music's a lot more accessible, but as a result, there's an unlimited amount of
loads
music, a
of
lot
music.
of which is terrible.
Yeah.
So it's just I
but
don't know.
it's about the love of it. And I just feel like when I was a little kid, I was like, I just want to do what I want and what I love for work when I'm older. And
Yeah.
so like by being able to turn something that I have passion for and I love, and you do that every day, if it's your work or music, it's like you don't feel like you ever work.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the goal everyone should have, is to be able to do something with their life that they have passion for and love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and there's different levels of success too. I mean,
Well,
we talk about
exactly.
this all the time. Ben and I are not playing, Wembley Stadium anytime soon that I'm aware of. Anyways, unless you haven't told me something.
we are,
you
but
know,
we're playing soccer.
We're not playing. Yeah, we're not making millions of dollars or whatever. But are we successful in music? I would say so. I mean, we play out all the time. We play out on the weekends. We write music. We put stuff out there. People listen to it. I
Go
think
on
that
tour and stuff?
yeah, we go on tours. Like that. That's success to me. So it just depends on how you look at it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
totally.
still newbies though. We're still like little bit itty bitty babies at this
Am I
point.
sitting too far away from the microphone? I feel like I moved away.
No,
you're
got
okay.
it.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Like
it's but especially with this, like when you're starting like a new project, and somebody's got to be the one that's doing all the work, the actual work. You're stalking Instagram.
Yep.
You're having to contact people. Now you've got to put videos together. Like when we hit like one open mic, it was December the 4th at Propaganda, and again it was DDRB hosting. So I'm like, yes, it was perfect because it was mostly acoustic that night anyway. So we did what was it, 3 songs,
Yeah.
like
I don't
10,
remember.
10 15 minutes or whatnot, and I had my husband film it. It was crappy video, but it was something.
Sure.
So you take those clips and you just chop it up into something that people can use, and that way you've got something to present. So I actually, during like...
Well, it's like a nugget.
Well, during December when
You
I was
reel them
sick...
in a little bit, and then they want to find the music.
So we played that, and like later in the month I was sick as a dog, so I'm like, okay, I'm home sick anyway, so I'm just going to start blasting stuff out to a bunch of people, and I actually had a couple of nibbles where... no gigs turned into 3 gigs.
Yeah,
For
there you go.
February. Yeah.
You got the right idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just tenacity, getting yourself out there. That's what it's all
So
about.
good at it.
I think that's the hardest part, though, is creating content and being consistent with it. We're fortunate enough that because we are playing out all the time and we're making money with it, that we have a full-time social media person, so we don't have to deal with it as much. In fact, I think Ben said one time that if there's ever a morning that he wakes up and doesn't see his picture on Facebook or Instagram, it's gonna be a weird day for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's gonna think she quit.
Yeah, totally.
But so we are fortunate in that aspect. But keeping up with that consistency and constantly posting and fresh and different content, and not just the same thing over and over
It's
again.
exhausting, though,
It
but-
absolutely is exhausting.
It's what if you
Yeah.
ever find yourself in a position where you can afford to pay someone to do social media, it is enormously freeing.
It's like, it's like
Until
paying someone to
we're
pick up your
actually-
dog's poop.
Yeah, until we're actually
Like-
making profit. Because right now
Yeah.
I only got paid for like 1 gig so far, and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was
thought they wouldn't even pay for our gas.
No, that was the
show.
original showcase, which you had Abba Zions on 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
the gentleman that we actually are original for, what was it, gig number 2. It was originally gig number 2. And he took a chance on us, and actually in December, he was like, I'm going to
At
book.
Prosperity.
And it rained on us. I was so
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
It was outside,
We-
and I was like, I said before, I'm like, I hope it rains so we can have a Prince moment.
And it was blowing,
And it
too.
freaking rained on us. It rained on us. I was like, yes. I
That's
love
amazing.
that.
Yeah,
How-
yeah.
Best
where
Super
are you
Bowl
guys
ever.
based out of?
She's in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
I'm in Deerfield.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I'm like 5 minutes away from Marquee.
Gotcha.
And are you guys doing? Are you? I mean, I know you're new to the game and you're kind of feeling your way through it, but
Yeah.
Are you looking mostly or doing mostly just original gigs, like 30 minutes and stuff like that, or are you doing
I'm-
like full 3 hour?
No, we haven't got. We don't
Nothing
have
like
enough
that.
material for the full 3 hours.
tell you jokes.
yet. That would be like.
You can do some like a
I
strip
think that would
tease, like,
be.
We'll stand up or something.
Well, listen. This is actually a
Cabaret
bit of a
for-
cheat mode to be able to make money with the band.
Yeah.
Is you have your originals, but you also have enough covers
Right.
to fill out a 3-hour set. You have to be very careful that doesn't end up becoming the main thing.
Yeah.
But if you manage to straddle it like Killbillies does,
Yeah.
then you can start making a lot of money as a band. But while still pursuing the
Yeah.
originals.
Well,
So,
and that's the thing. Like with the original stuff, especially when you're going out on a tour or something like that.
Yeah.
Unless you have some amazing booking agent and he's booking you in and you're selling a ton of tickets and this and that, you're not making money when you're on tour. You're spending money.
Oh yeah.
When you're doing
Thumbs
something like
down.
Killbillies, where you're kind of walking that fine line of we have a ton of original music, but we have a ton of covers, and we can do either or. You start walking that fine line, and then you end up going on a tour, and you do 10 dates, and maybe you do 6 original shows or 7 original shows, but you do 3 or 4 cover shows where
Yeah,
you
just
mix
to
in
make
some
it-
originals,
Yeah.
but those you get paid well for, and then those help you pay for the rest of the tour. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I-
that's
it's-
interesting. You guys are I want to pick your brains a little bit because I love you to death, but I just can't see myself at our age or my age
Doing touring.
like going on getting in the car with you and driving across the country. No offense, but I'm like, there's no way in
You
hell
would
it's
be
happening.
you'd be
And, like-
surprised. It's a lot of fun, just as long as you don't stay in
I'm
like
telling
weird
you,
places.
I love them, but but it depends on like I guess how far we're driving. But it's just but if I was making more money, but it just seems like that is a very difficult thing to do
Yeah.
in
At this
reality
stage, yeah.
at this stage, right?
Yeah.
So I'm much more, and a lot of our stuff is geared. Like I think really well towards sync licensing, and that's something. My best friend is also a singer songwriter, and she went to production school, and she's like, "Why are you guys even like not doing this?" She's like, "You guys for
Yeah.
sure because video games. There's so many ways to get your music out there and licensed that."
I'm actually talking to someone about it right now. For
another
a
avenue.
number of my bands, I did a podcast with some guys who make video games and stuff, and I'm in conversation with someone about it right now. It's
Yeah.
definitely a great. It's nice work if you can get it.
Not as well known, and
Yeah.
you may not always get it, but it's like, but if you get it once, I mean, I know a lot of people that had songs in a commercial,
Yeah.
and that commercial's blown up.
Yep.
Like they had a Mazda commercial.
Yep.
There was some like and it was years ago, and it was like they got money royalties forever on that.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
And it's cha-ching money.
Well, it's interesting is when we were setting up before we started, and Ben was listening to some of your music and stuff. The comment he made was it was very cinematic.
Yeah.
It sounded very cinematic.
Yeah, great for sync. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
first thing
it's
I
perfect
said,
for
and it's
it.
funny that was something that like that you
Had thought about it.
I've
already.
been bugging everyone, even the producer
Yeah.
we recorded with. I'm like, why are we even? I mean, playing shows is great, but I'm like, why aren't we even just talking about any of this? No one. They're like, oh, whatever. I'm like, but because it sounds like something that I can
Yeah.
see a scene in a movie
No,
where that
it's
song
smart.
would be put in.
You should start reaching out to people.
Yeah.
yeah, get
Yeah.
on it. So the other thing that I am curious to ask you about, and I think we used to do it in the second section of the podcast, but I think we're gonna switch things up a little bit, and we're gonna do it in the first section. So you sent us some pictures of your gear, and I'm very curious about it.
You send pictures of your gear.
Yes.
So what
It's like show and tell.
Yeah. So the first one that I would like to talk about is the lovely picture of you with your guitar and your amp. Could you tell us a little bit about your guitar and amp?
Oh, well, the amp is easy. That is a Quilter Aviator Mach 3.
Yeah.
It's a 2-channel amp that has British and American models in it. So it's basically their Cub series,
Yeah.
UK and US version in one amp. So they have like a Marshall channel that's more plexi. It's not JCM or anything like that. It's like your old 60s plexi.
Yeah, nice.
And I got that because I'm older and I don't have a roadie to haul tube amps and whatnot,
Yeah.
and that thing is 21 pounds.
That's
You have a
amazing.
son.
and
You have
it
a son.
has
Why
and
doesn't
it
he have
has
a
a
roadie?
removable. It has a you can take out the head unit out of it, unbolt it, and put it with another cab.
That's really
See,
cool.
yeah.
And, Quilter stuff is just it's very well made.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. It's
Yeah.
like bulletproof, that amp. As for the guitar, that I've had for 10 years now. And it's originally started out as a bone stock 1983 Rickenbacker 320. And for those that are not familiar with it, it's a short scale guitar.
Yeah.
It's the little brother to John Lennon's 325 Rickenbacker that you see in like early Beatles stuff in A Hard Day's Night and Help.
It's
I
lovely.
went ahead and I started modifying it because, unbeknownst to me, the original wiring was shot to hell.
Oh.
Like it was corroded. It started with modifying it with just taking the very first thing I took off of it was the knobs, because I hate the silver top knobs that they have on the lower models.
Yeah.
And removing the R tailpiece that
Yeah.
was on it, which was the dorkiest thing I've ever seen, and I put on a accent vibrato on that.
Yeah, cool.
And I eventually went through different stages of remodeling, actually modifications. It has a custom wiring harness that's in there now.
Nice.
That's been in there for like 5 years. I had to have it rebuilt 3 years ago because I had an electronic issue where the neck pickup died. But all three positions, middle, bridge, and neck, is Rickenbacker HB1 humbuckers.
Nice.
And I had a guy by the name of Dane Wilder that built all the harnesses for that guitar for me. And the current version of it now has the fifth knob is dedicated to the middle pickup position, just as a volume only, which means that sucker is wide open humbucker, no tone knob.
Great.
The neck and the bridge are push-pull pots on
Cool.
the tone, so I can coil split.
Oh, that's awesome.
wild.
And there's a guy named Larry Davis who went ahead and I sent out my pick guards to him. And he went and he did a 3-layer white, black
Yeah.
pick guard set on that
Very
thing.
good. I have to say, I appreciate someone who knows what they're talking about with gear and has like a really a focused approach in how they want their gear to work, and that's really cool. So the other picture is your pedal board. So
Yes.
let's hear a little bit about that. Let's start with the black one at the top left.
Maybe we'll talk about this. When I met her, she was an anti-pedal person. I'm going to out you. I have to out you because
Would you like me to show you
she
the
was a
picture?
full-on
Yeah, I know-
anti-pedal
no, I know which one
person.
you're talking about right off the top
Like
of
she
my
made
head.
fun of our other guitar players, like for he was like all in pedals, and she's like, I think that's so horrible. She was just like, that's you had some choice things to say. I don't
No,
know.
I think
But like it was just like not your thing. And all of a sudden, that one day, you're like
pedals.
coming out your ears. Like
Yeah, I was like a deal. I was almost like dealer.
How did that happen? I'm just curious.
Because it comes from growing up and spending most of my teen years in adulthood being poor and not and just being
Look down-
guitar
it wasn't the
and
pedal's fault.
Well, no, it's called guitar and amp, straight into amplifier. So I had a tube amp. I went through several tube amps and settled
Yeah.
on a reissue Ampeg R12R reverb rocket, which I love that thing to death. And you can get them for like $500 all day long. It's beautiful. It's like it's kind of like between a Vox and a Fender, but it has its
Cool.
own character, so it's like a warm chime.
What's it called?
It's an Ampeg. They don't make guitar amps anymore.
I have an Ampeg Gemini 6 from the 60s.
I have a reissue R12R reverb rocket from
Interesting.
1996.
Cool.
Those were beautiful amps, but they're just too heavy to take to gigs. So I used to be just straight guitar and amp for years.
Yeah,
Until
gotcha.
I got into like this band and I started messing with pedals. Just
What's
only
this
like,
oil can delay about?
It's that's the original Blackout series when they first dropped. It's a JHS 3 Series oil can delay pedal.
Okay.
$99 pedal. Those were like originally like 1,000 made at the time.
Oh, wow.
And then I would harass them like, you need to make this part of the 3 Series for regular. And they actually did it last
that's
year.
crazy.
So now they're white instead of black on black.
That's wild.
That thing is cool because it's got a secret mode. You turn you keep the pedal off. You turn all the knobs down to 0. You flip the switch, flip it back, and then you just turn the pedal on, and it's got a secret mode where it engages like 2 simulated tape heads on
What does
it.
it do? What does that do? I'm not,
Remember with
you guys
Coda?
you could be speaking.
You know that effect that I used on the...
Czechoslovakian right now. That's how I understand this.
there's a-
Explain to me in layman's terms what that does.
It has like its own oscillation. The pedal starts self-oscillating.
The note will oscillate.
Oh, when you crank it, it starts oscillating. It sounds like it's synth.
Okay.
And there's
That's
nothing to it.
really
Yeah.
interesting.
Pretty well.
And that planetary looking switch that's 2 buttons.
Yeah.
It's it's from Saturn Works.
Yeah.
It's a 2-button loop switcher.
Okay, cool.
So
It's like gear porn.
Yeah,
we're doing
so-
gear porn right now.
I have
sure.
I have the oil can delay wired into the left side. Why?
Yeah.
Because if you turn the pedal off, you disengage secret mode. So I
Oh.
needed to have a separate, not a separate
Like a
button,
bypass.
A bypass.
Just like
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Secret.
And
Yeah.
actually, yeah, okay. And then we got this Zoom. What's that?
That's the MSG.
Is it a looper?
No, it's just a multi-effect
I
pedal.
see.
Yeah,
I got you. And then we got then an EQ.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, what talking of bypasses?
Yeah.
What you were curious about the thing that I have attached to my acoustic guitar.
Yes, your board
Now,
was wild, man.
So what I have going on there is, I have 3 separate loops. And the switches on my guitar are bypasses. So the first loop is gain related things. The second loop is delay related things, and the third one is like weird effects. Like I usually have like an octave pedal, and everything's on all the time, and I just use the switch for bypass, just like you do.
Yeah.
Just use the switches for bypass because it's the only way that I could do it and have it attached to my guitar. It was the only way
Instead
I
of
could
having it as a foot pedal type
because
of
I had
thing?
to do that because I
Because he
played
plays the drum with his foot.
yeah. So I had to do it like that, and the rest of the stuff on there is just there's a compressor on there and a DI. That's all. But
Yeah,
like,
when you saw us at Prosperity, I don't think we did drums. It was just
No.
it was just upright and acoustic.
That's
Yeah.
it.
But
I
when
don't
the
think
3
they
of
can get
us,
a drum set there.
When
on
No,
the
he didn't have a
stage.
kick
no,
drum.
so when the
Play
3
one
of us are
piece.
playing,
Bongo drum?
Yeah.
Ben has a snare drum on the floor with a foot pedal, and James has a kick drum.
Yeah.
And they go back and forth, boom bop, boom bop. You know, they literally just and so neither one of them, they both have pedal boards, but neither one of them can access the pedal board because you can't just lift up your other foot, you'd fall over.
yeah,
So-
exactly. I'm gonna show you a picture of what we do with the with.
Because
where
I've
is it?
never seen the switches before. Was that like a
It's custom. Yeah, he had it. He was coming up with the idea, and then
Yeah.
somebody built it for him.
Yeah, I had a guy build it for me. Here we go. Here's a picture of the way that we do the drums. Look, we played them with our feet. See that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
All right. Well, I think now would be a great time to listen to one of your songs, and then we can come back and talk about it. Sound good?
Yep.
So tired, she's wasted so much of self, body and mind, all of the traces of him left behind in her eyes, between her thighs. All you can see behind her empty eyes. believing that someone could see me, still love me, and the trusting an enemy, trusting an enemy. The longer you suffer, life is unending. Listen, hey, voices will cover all my screams that my fear commands. It's led by what I believe. We're all about our battling against my body and my mind. When alone I'm terrified. Tell me why you lie. Why am I a sacrifice? Why am I your sacrifice? Dressing to deceive me, wanting the destiny I wasn't good enough to keep. The death of believing someone could see me, still love me, and trusting an enemy, and the 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 trusting
We like to ask at this point in time, do you have any advice for people getting into music?
Oh, wow.
Getting into music in what regard?
In any regard.
Any regard. Music is the best therapy. It's makes if you are drawn to it and you have inspiration and passion for it, go for it. If you don't. I feel like it's a labor. It can be a labor of love, and if you enjoy it and it fulfills you in any way, it can bring you a lot of joy and also
sure.
bring other people joy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take that. That's absolutely right. Yeah. Have you got any advice?
For me, considering that my background is very different than Marissa's in terms of that I grew up kind of like in a bubble when I was learning music. I just kind of didn't come from a musical family. My brother had a guitar. I just happened to learn on my own. Couldn't afford lessons then, still can't afford a lesson now, so I'm self-taught. My advice would be that if you do want to learn an instrument, you have the ability to find one that works with your personality. If you want to be guitar, drums, bass, voice, I would say to keep pursuing it and not to quit.
Yeah.
I feel like it'll speak to you. I feel like the instrument. I feel like people say that it speaks to them. Like people that are drawn to play drums, like kids.
Yeah.
You see it. That's just they're drawn to certain.
And considering how much technology we have, that when I was learning before YouTube, before the internet, it was
Sure.
just guitar, chord book, radio.
Yeah.
I ignored all of the alternative music because I knew nothing about alternate tunings. I just stuck with the oldies station. Why? I would learn 3 chords at a time and then listen to the oldies station.
There you go. That's quite similar to the way I learned
Yeah.
guitar. I still have some funny shapes that I learned E wrong and stuff like that, and I can obviously do it both ways now because I've got a lot of experience. But I have some. I taught myself some very interesting habits.
I could say this, that if you are learning guitar and you hit the what I call the bar chord wall,
Yeah.
don't give up, but also don't injure yourself trying to do them. You know,
Yeah.
it's okay to walk away from the instrument for a little time if you're frustrated, you know, but always go back to it, never quit.
Yeah.
Work at it a little bit at a time.
That's
If
great,
you're
yeah.
frustrated with learning other people's songs, which is what my huge thing was, which is why I'm not really a huge covers person. I like making up. I used to make a game out of any sets of chords that I learned. I'd make a song out of it.
Yeah. That's
And
nice
keep
idea.
going and keep going, and that's how I pretty much like learned. And I was a diehard Beatles fan, so
Were?
that's
R.
is. But
She's
I
like an
spent
encyclopedia.
I spent most of the '90s just digesting anything and everything Beatles magazines.
She can tell you
books.
the name of Paul McCartney's veterinary doctor.
But I would study the music.
his
I would
handyman.
study the song structure, because if you're going to learn how to write music, you better learn from the people that you know made bank on it, that know what they're
Yeah.
doing. But I wasn't limited to just that. But you have to also expose yourself to other kinds of music too.
Yeah.
Different genres from
Yeah.
different periods of time. I
Yeah.
love 1950s doo-wop.
Me too. I get it.
I love it. I used to listen to Ken Hill's Doo-Wop Shop
Yeah. Cool.
and Little Steven's Underground when I was a teenager, and I would Ken Hill's show used to be on from like 9 to midnight, just
Yeah.
listening to like all of this obscure stuff that he would put on, and I would be like, ooh, tape deck, boom, I got to record that. You know, when you're recording it off, you know, making your little mixtapes back in the day.
Yeah.
So it's always great to expose yourself to different types of music.
Absolutely.
Don't pigeonhole yourself, and also don't be afraid when you do learn your instrument to get out of your shell and try to get out to some gigs and
Yeah.
pluck up the courage to talk to people.
You know, it's funny. You were talking earlier about social anxiety and being a bit of a barrier sometimes. I can totally relate to that,
Yeah.
and that's actually something that I find when you're playing shows, it gives you something to do when you're in that situation.
distraction, maybe, or?
That, and also just like a reason to talk to other people, and like it's like you're there for a reason. I find going to gigs that I'm playing at a lot more comfortable than just showing up as a person, because I never know what to do with myself when I'm just standing
Yeah.
there. I find actually being involved in it a lot more enjoyable, and I don't know if you can relate to that, but like because if you're just in the audience, sometimes you kind of feel just like what do I do now? But yeah, so yeah, I you know, I get that social anxiety thing. I have it too. But something I feel like we should move on to talking about the song. Can you guys tell us about what Enemy is about?
Should we start with the music or the lyrics?
I'm going to start with the music first. Originally in the prior band, I had a song that I did just playing guitar at home. And this was during a very difficult time, because this was like my husband's second stint in the hospital.
Yeah.
And this was a day that we had rehearsal, but it was a day that he told me, it was on a Sunday, and he told me, hey, you know, you don't need to come driving down here every day to see me. So I'm like, okay, I'm in my living room. I'm all depressed and whatnot. So I had my jazz chorus amp out. I had my other Rickenbacker out, my 325, and had it tuned down a half step. So it was in the E flat instead of E standard. And just started playing a couple of shapes and hit on a pattern, but it was a cyclical pattern on this song initially, and it was played wholly different. It was more arpeggio than how it is on the actual recording, and it just was
So pretty.
just miserable, and I just got it out into song, and then I brought it into rehearsal that afternoon, and Marissa's like, she had her pile of lyrics,
I have
and she's like,
I
oh my
have
God,
hundreds
she
of
sits on the floor and she starts rifling through
I
all of her
immediately I heard the
papers.
first like 3 chords and I'm like, fuck yeah.
That's cool. So
Because-
tell us about the lyrics. Tell us about the
But
lyrics.
so I have a thing about my songwriting is I call it turning pain into beauty.
There you go.
Because
that's
not,
a better way
not,
around.
Sorry, reverse that. But because I feel like so much of what I write about, and unfortunately, at least I'm writing some more positive songs now, but I mean mostly introspective
Sure.
lyrics. I'm a huge Fiona Apple fan. Like played the shit out of those first few albums of hers when I was younger and was super into like the emo, like, but taking that emotional pain or whatever negative feeling, I feel like it's a release to write it and sing it, or to have music that you're putting to those feelings, because it makes it beautiful and it's in a way that's not painful anymore. And it's how I kind of release the demons. So to
me
speak.
too. Me
yeah.
too.
So it's like, that's why I say it's therapy. It literally is. So this song, I was written. I had a relationship. I had a relationship that was like, it was with this guy for 5 years, and all through COVID, we were together. And if he's actually going to watch this, I should send this to him, because this song is about you, Damien. And I was kind of lost. I mean, he ghosted me after 5 years of being with me. Like, he literally ghosted me. Like, he left my house, and like I never saw him again.
Good Lord.
And
Good riddance.
and my mom had just passed away like maybe a year before that, so I was emotionally kind of a wreck.
Sure.
So after that, I was like just totally fucked up, and I just traveled around like a bunch, and I was in LA, and I was going on a run, and this like the lyrics just kind of popped, and the melodies kind of I get inspired with the gym. I don't know why, but like I started.
I think it's because all the blood and like all the oxygen, it just makes it.
Yeah, I don't know, but I started thinking about a melody, and then the lyrics as I'm running. I'm on my iPhone, trying to like run and like type at the same time, and then I got back to my friend's house, and I sat there and I just wrote the entire song, and it was like. Basically, I was just, you could tell after we hear this song, I was not a happy camper, and I thought the world was coming to an end, and no one was ever going to love me ever again, and I was like, boo-hoo, poor me. And now when I look at the lyrics and I look back on it, I'm like, what a dumb, pathetic, like, because I was much better off, but I was just going through it,
It's very,
we've
very
all
hard to
been
tell
there.
at times.
So it's just very sad and very hopeless, and but the positive outcome of it is that
have a beautiful piece of music.
yeah, exactly. And it sounds great. So
It sounds absolutely wonderful, and that's I think that is I love the song, and I think that actually the that is just a well from which springs so much creativity, and that's that's where most people write from pain or some kind of traumatic experience, and they're just trying to work through it. I definitely have. Some things have happened to me where I feel like I only truly got over them after I sung it. I was in a terrible accident.
That makes perfect sense.
And I wrote a song about it. And writing the song and performing the song a few times, it finally pulled it out of my subconscious and, just like exercised the demon. So yeah,
it's exactly. I totally hear that.
Yeah.
But the really funny thing is that, and this is a thing on songwriting in general, but for me, not only does it help me get out my own emotions, the beauty of it is that people that are going to hear it, everyone's been through something in their life. There's only so many experiences that human beings have.
Sure.
We're all going to lose someone. We're all going to be happy. We're all going to be loved. We're all going to be hated. All the fear, everything we go through in life, we're all going to at some point relate. So when you have a good song and you're able to articulate it and lyrically and vocally, and you perform it, people that are going to receive it, you have no idea how it's going to touch their life or what it's going to do for them. Because that's the coolest part. It's like when I think about not only pain that I might have been going through when I wrote it, but like someone out there is going to relate that's gone through a breakup, and it's going to make them feel better for that 5 minutes that the song's playing.
I've never been more touched than when someone says to me, your lyrics really spoke to me. That is just that's the most wonderful experience.
It is. It's the biggest compliment anyone can get, because like, there's always probably songs you played when you were going through hard times, and those songs spoke to you, and that's the same thing. So it's not just the performer or the artist, but it's also thinking about the effect on the listener too.
The interesting thing about songs and lyrics though is you could write something from a certain perspective. You could write something with something specific in mind, and then you put it out in the world, and someone comes to you and says, "Wow, that song really spoke to me." But it might not even be the exact same thing. They might have gone through something completely different, but for some reason, those lyrics, resonated with their story or with their situation, and it might not even been in the same situation.
They might have interpreted. They just plopped their life in this situation right into the words.
They might have interpreted those lyrics completely different,
cool.
but it still spoke to them, and it still made a difference in their life.
That's why music's so important. I think that's why music is
very important.
And also it's to be shared. So. On that note, I mean...
Yeah, and it's that sort of postmodern concept where it's like, it's what the artist brings to the conversation, but it's also what the listener brings to it. It's like the way something is received, the way something is like absorbed, and their take on it is equally as important as the way it's delivered. You know, they both kind of meet in the middle. You know,
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that, if you look at streaming and the consumption of music nowadays is so different. A lot of people just do consume music and don't listen or care. Or there's a large group that's like that, and that's fine. There's a place for them, but there's people that. I guess I'm saying is they all consume music in different ways now, and there's so many different ways to do it that it's sometimes feels devaluing of the art, of the artistry behind it. Sometimes if you're an artist, it's like, you know.
Yeah, I think that the whole kind of playlist culture now has a tendency to turn music into kind of like ambient sort of noise, you know, which is a bit of a shame. It's not quite as cherished as it used to be, but there are still plenty of people who
I think it'll come back. I think it'll come back.
Where it's not viewed as just merely as a commodity or a
when
consumable.
the machines take over, it'll come back. It'll be like the rare throwback days.
No, there's people that are like, I want to see music being played in person. They don't want to hear music being generated by a machine. It doesn't feel, it doesn't have common sense, it doesn't experience anything.
Yeah.
You can only get that through the human experience.
Absolutely.
That's something that machine's never going to replicate.
It's funny because I
that's a whole.
after the festival this weekend, it took me a few days to kind of collect my thoughts and everything, and I made this long, drawn out post on Facebook. But I kind of was talking about how you know, we put on this music festival and we had all sorts of diverse types of music. I mean, we had everything. I mean, we had hip hop and we had reggae and we had ska and we had rock and we had folk and we had country. I mean, like, you name it.
I love their ska bands in Florida. Who knew? I love that.
The crazy thing was, and which was the essence of my post was that, you know, music was the commonality to all of that, like to everybody that was there. There was different races of people there. There was different ages of people there. Nobody was worried about what your political party or affiliation was. Nobody was worried about if you're LGBTQ or you know, whatever the case may be. Like, nobody cared. There were thousands of people just enjoying the music, and the way that music just brought everybody together this weekend was probably my biggest takeaway from this weekend. Is it's just like,
I wish I had gone to it.
Like, it just, I just felt like it just solidified for me how important art and music is.
Yeah.
In
It's
the
universal,
world.
though.
It is.
Yeah.
It
You could do the same.
100%
You take your show on the road and go do it across the world, and whether they speak the language or not, they're still going to connect in that same way that you experienced on Sunday.
But it's still
Absolutely.
an integral part of the human experience, and it transcends language barriers, social
100%,
economic barriers. It's
Music
the
and
only
food.
Think about it.
Connect people. I swear
Besides
to-
food,
Yeah.
music is the only thing that can bring people together.
Yeah.
Regardless of your walk of life, and that's an incredible
It really
thing.
does.
But it makes me sad, though, that, you know, we still see things happening within our own area and other parts of the country where we're losing venues.
Yeah,
Like with the Matthews, was it brewery?
Fort
around-
Pierce, they've lost 5 venues in the last 6
Is
months.
that
in
because
Fort Pierce.
people are
They're not
is that because
drinking.
the market of the demographic of people that go and frequent, they're changing what they want to do on the weekend?
I
Is
think
that kind of like
but
what they
it's
do?
mostly that people just don't drink as much anymore,
And
and
it's
that
the
is just
economic
destroying
thing,
them.
so-
So it's mainly not for the music; it's about the alcohol. I
Yeah,
get it.
because that's
it's a
the
bar,
thing that's
yeah.
keeping the
Right.
But
Well, for the bar, as you know, for us it's about the music. For the patrons, it's about the music. But for the bar
Venue.
owners, they have to be able to make money.
That's true.
To
They
keep
need
the
to
doors
sell
open.
beer.
unless they have another
Yeah.
food or I get
But
it.
they count on having butts in the seats, more people in the venue, and more people in the venue equates to them making purchases, whether it's food,
Sure.
beverage, whatever you
It's
may
so tragic.
have.
We got to stop that because
we got to get everyone drinking again.
Well, no, I mean,
that's
they
what the
start
Kava
making
bars are for.
mocktails. You don't have to have alcohol,
No,
but
that's what
because
yeah.
that happened when I'm from the Bay Area, and I remember there was during the many years where they changed that city and they ran it into the ground. Sorry, Gavin or whoever, but like made it a total shit show. I used to go to all these venues growing up. I mean, I went to concerts every weekend growing up, and there was amazing venues everywhere. And then as tech came in slowly, little by little, they all started closing. Literally, like Boss Gags on the Boss Gags, is it? Boss
Yeah.
Gags, yeah.
Yeah.
He owned a venue that it was always packed, very famous. That shut down. Everything shut down as tech came in because the kids that were working at like Google, the Googlies, I call them the Googlies, they would like go to the wine bar places and the little lounges, and they didn't want to go hear music anymore.
Yeah.
So everyone just stopped.
Yeah.
And I was like, it used to be so like just
And the third, and the
amazing
idea of having what they call like third spaces, where you're not only just there buying food and drink, but you're there to, you hang out somewhere else other than at home.
Yeah.
And you're
100%.
gonna see music. You're gonna hear poetry. You're
Yeah.
just there to kind of chill. And I find that with a lot of those places that are gone now, they just didn't find that they were profitable enough to
Yeah.
maintain
They
the
couldn't keep their doors
space like the
open.
rent. You know?
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Maybe
That's-
you're right. Maybe
we have
that
to
is what the
revolt.
Kava
So we have
bars
to
are
do a
for.
musicians revolt and try to bring them back.
Well, that's why they're doing the Kava bars, because they know like if the alcohol
That's-
sales are down,
I didn't think about that.
then
It's
you
the
got
alcohol.
the alternative places that are
Yeah.
bars, but
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it's like you can drink this, but now we don't
Yeah.
have to worry about you,
Yeah.
drunk
Well, some of the
driving or
Kava
whatnot.
bars are starting to offer. They started out offering, acoustic acts and things like that. And now I've seen where some of the Kava bars have like full bands coming in
Yeah.
and doing.
Did you see that? There's one like where Anchors Away is in Deerfield, which I have
Yeah, I've
yet to
been
see.
there. Yeah, yeah.
There's the Kava bar that's next door,
Yeah,
and I
I've
find
been
it
there.
hysterical because I live in Deerfield, so I live near the hospital, and I find it funny that you've got two very different bars right across the street from City Hall.
Yeah, totally.
They're like raising
Well,
hell.
where do you
with
think
all-
they all go after work? And all the public
true.
Well,
defenders.
they got like a
and
lot
the
of hardcore
prosecutors, I
bands
guarantee you,
and
they're all.
punk and
we played at Anchors Away.
I know
last
that.
week.
Yeah,
It's true. I know a lot of lawyers. That,
I didn't get a chance to
prosecutors
see you guys when you played over there. I'm like, yeah, that was with what Bomb the Algorithm, right?
like
Yeah,
So-
that's us. Yeah,
yeah, so I didn't.
Oh, sorry, that's what you were saying.
I didn't get a chance to like go over to see that particular gig, even though it was like literally like 5 minutes from my house. I'm like, do I really want to go out? It's because some people are like, if they're older or they just don't want to get out of their comfort zone, I just don't want to leave the house.
Yeah,
because that's the
I
other
get
thing.
it.
It's
Yeah,
like,
but see,
oh,
but I don't love the if they're older excuse, because I'm older and I'm out playing the music. So
well, for
That's
me,
not-
it
that's
takes a
not
lot of
an
energy
excuse.
out of me right now.
I hear ya.
For it's a lot of work, especially when you're working, full time, boring
I hear you.
office gig, and you're mentally drained.
Well, if
from
you
that.
come to when we play there again, if you come, I will give you a free T-shirt and I'll buy you a drink. You'll have a lovely time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's next for you guys? What's in the pipeline? You got any shows coming up? What's going on?
We have 2 shows so far this month. We've got a show coming up on Saturday on the 9th at Poorhouse,
Oh, cool.
which is kicking off at 11 o'clock. So most of you might be in bed, but you better get out into the gig and stay out late.
Just come in your PJs.
We have
like I am.
we have Changes
Go on at
Great.
1 o'clock in the morning. So.
We have Changes Great. At the Starlight is playing at midnight, and then we're on at 1. Now, interesting part with that gig is because we have a substitute drummer. We're borrowing Jeremy from At the Starlight.
Oh, cool.
So he's playing with us. He's been rehearsing with us for like about 2 or 3 weeks now. And the gig after that is the big one. We are playing the second day of the propaganda benefit gig.
Oh, yeah, so
So
we'll
we-
be on the same show.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
Nice.
But
I can't
speaking
wait.
of ska, I don't know how we're going to top it because we've got more Better Band kicking
Yeah.
it off, and then we're next.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't- I
You'll be
think-
surrounded by ska bands.
Yeah.
Put the act
I
on
love
one
that.
side.
Really?
Yes.
we're
I
bummed.
grew up on that. I was a ska punk girl when high
Yeah,
school.
but we're ska, on the algorithm, ska punk, more better bands, ska, so
That's
you'll be
amazing.
surrounded by ska.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Yeah, it'll
it's
be
gonna be a
fun.
lot of fun. All right, yeah, I better see you skanking.
I was gonna say,
Knees up.
get the
Let's
skank.
go.
Okay, I don't remember how to
Get
do
the
that.
skank on now.
Yeah,
God.
yeah. I'll remind. I'll reteach you.
I'll skank with you.
Excellent. Perfect.
As far as other future plans, I do have an interesting little footnote. When I was at the original showcase that Abba Zions runs, I actually had won us 2 hours of studio time with Sapphire Studios. So we're going to
Cool.
be going in there. We're going to be planning out the session first, but we're going to be
feel like
recording
2
a
hours is
single
not
for
very
that.
much.
No, we're going to do it. We're going to knock it
you
out.
get something done.
We'll get something done.
Yeah, yeah.
I think maybe if that's the situation, you've got a couple of hours. What I would do is I'd just try and play something all together, like live, just knock it out. Because
Yeah.
if you start trying to like divide it up, you won't get nothing
Oh,
done
yeah.
in 2
And I
hours.
nitpick a lot. I'm like a nitpicker.
I already told Merrick, I'm like, dude, I'm fine with the instrumentation. I can knock stuff out in 2 takes. we need the time for her to do her vocals because
Yeah.
she's
I'm a
very,
nitpicker.
very particular about how she wants her
I'm
vocals.
perfectionist. I'm a bad
And
perfectionist. I'll say that.
The
Bad
remember with the
perfectionist.
phrasing, you got to like. I don't like how I said that syllable in this word.
I
It-
hear
it
like
kind-
a syllable of a word. Like
I
a
sound
half
flat
of a
here.
syllable, and I'm like,
I
and that's all I'm going to hear for the rest of my life.
I get it. Honestly.
wants
And
to
no one
massage
else
the
hears it, and I'm like,
vocals.
but I hear it, and it's
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
thing I hear. And I'll
I get
hate
it.
that song if I don't hear it.
massage
But,
the vocals very
Would
carefully.
use the time for
yeah.
for all the recording and stuff, and then worry about the production side of it later.
Oh yeah, it's
That's why I
supposed to
feel
be like a quitted
that's why I
and
feel
hit
like I
type
wouldn't
of
mind paying
thing.
for a few more hours. Like it's not
No,
the
no,
end of the
but
world.
we've got another recording opportunity that we're going to be discussing. We have to actually do the planning with the producer tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it's like a crowdfunding thing.
Crowdfunding
in Boston,
thing
back in my
in
back where I went to school.
Boston with some outfit
cool.
called Plaid Dog. So they're thinking of doing an album. I'm like, I'd rather
I think
do an
I know
LP.
that. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
we're
I've seen
gonna
something.
give
about
that a
it.
go.
But now that
Someone
we have
reach
a
I'm
out.
gonna go beg all my friends and family for money. Basically.
No, but
I've already done it.
you know what's funny? I was like, now I'm like, I'm glad we kind of had it postponed a little bit with the producer one because I'm going, now we have the podcast. Now we have something to share with family and friends.
Yeah.
They're like,
Exactly.
Now they know it's legit. We're not trying to
up,
take their money.
guys?
look, yay, what up?
Yeah. All right.
Shout out to Plaid Dog.
Yeah.
Glad dog in the house. All right. So yeah, listen, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks so much for coming, and I can't wait to see what happens next with you guys. The world is your oyster. It's very exciting, and you're both absolute sweethearts. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
And I can't wait to see you again. Can't wait to see you guys live, and that's going to be next Sunday or whatever it is coming
and
up.
then we
So-
get to see Hector on Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, exactly.
Saturday, I'll see
Well,
them.
thank you
Saturday.
guys so much for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys are
Appreciate
adorable, and this is a lot of fun.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Well, you got anything to say before we get out of here, buddy?
No, let's talk about. We can just tell them that we're going to do the
Festival roundup.
Yeah, festival roundup episode, and that'll just look out for that. It's going to be a special drop on that episode.
Exactly. Yeah. So keep your eyes peeled for the festival thing because I've got a whole load of footage I'm going to cut together with interviews and some great live footage and some footage from the Sunday afterwards, the songwriter night. So it's going to be a real cool jamboree of an episode.
Yeah, just save the date. May 1st next year, 2027 is officially the next festival.
All right.
So.
See you later, guys. Woo. Excellent. Well done.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Can I move?
Better scenes, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out.